Data from various sources shows that Black migrants are among the poorest in the UK, and many of them, in fact, have less than £1,000 in savings, meaning that if an emergency were to happen, most Black migrants are unable to handle that. That is why in this video, I'm going to be discussing some of the reasons why I believe Black migrants are some of the poorest in the United Kingdom, and why you can be different from these Black migrants. If you enjoy what I say, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. So first things first, most Black migrants are not coming in with the same level of advantage that the Indian migrants are, or even the Caucasian migrants. Most of the time, for African migrants, it is first or second generation migrants, meaning that we're still very new to the playing field. And of course, when you're the new guy on the block, that kind of puts you at a disadvantage. That is the fundamental reason why most Black migrants happen to be among the poorest in the UK. Moving on from that fundamental basis, the next thing that is a common denominator is also the fact that most African migrants have a lot of black tax, which means that they're sending money home back to Africa, to their parents, to their relatives, they're paying for their brother's school fees, they're paying for their auntie's wedding. You know, there's a lot of African remittance, and that can put a strain on your finances in the UK, because especially as a first generation migrant, you are just trying to get your feet. You don't really know what's happening just yet. You're still trying to figure things out. But because you are abroad, many people just automatically think, oh, she's definitely doing well. I mean, they can afford it. I'm just going to bill them. They can afford it. After all, they're earning in pounds. But they don't really know the effort that you're putting in to make that money, and they don't really know how things are working. I came across a post on the Nigerian Doctors in UK page, because I'm a member of that page, and the person on that page was very, very heartbroken because she had sent 300,000 naira to her parents back home in Nigeria, and her parents apparently were not grateful. Her and her husband had sent 300,000 naira to her parents, and they weren't grateful, and she was very, very sad because that was a lot of money for her to give away, and she just felt like they were taking her for granted, and she was coming onto the page to ask what she should do in terms of cutting them off and stuff like that. So my own advice in that type of situation would be to have a budget for black tax, which was the advice that was given to her on the page. Is obviously, these are your parents, and we all know the situation of things back home in Nigeria. It's not like anybody's particularly excited to be asking you for money, but at the end of the day, things in Nigeria are really quite hard, and giving to your parents may be an obligation if you see it as such. So have a budget and say, maybe every month I'm going to send back X amount of money. So let's say, for the purpose of illustration, £100. And once that £100 is all done, and that's the end, honestly, I don't have any more money once that £100 is exhausted. And I really urge us to take that approach, because at the end of the day, it's self-preservation, because you know that even in a plane crash, the instructions would be put your mask on your face first, and once you're done securing your own airway is when you can help somebody else. You can't pour from an empty cup. Fill yourself up first before you pour back into other people. So set a budget for black tax. If your black tax budget is £100, once that £100 is exhausted, then that's it, you know, and everybody just has to make do with what they have. Don't be that person who just keep giving, because at the end of the day, you will never really be able to grow. Piggybacking off of that is this need to keep up with the Joneses. So a lot of the time, because you just come abroad, people are expecting that you're doing so much better, and you may not even be doing better just yet. Obviously, you're still trying to find your feet. So the first 3 to 5 years, most people are still struggling. They don't really know what's happening. They're still trying to play catch up. But because they've come from Nigeria, and everybody back home has seen them and said, oh, my daughter is in America, oh, my daughter is in the UK, she's doing well, this and that. And then you start feeling the need to prove that you are doing well. So whether that be buying expensive things that you really can't afford, going on multiple holidays that you know that you cannot afford, you know, and because you have access to all these credits, you know, you've got access to car credit, you've got access to a mortgage, you've got access to credit card, you've got access to buy now, pay later. There's so much access to credit. At the end of the day, you end up inflating your lifestyle without even really realizing it. So then you get to a point whereby you are giving out all your money, black tax is taking your money, all your bills are taking all your money, and you don't really have anything left. You don't really have anything left because you have financed your whole life. So you literally don't have anything left. And that is a really dangerous place to be, which obviously leads me to my next point, which is the fact that we don't prioritize paying ourselves first. That is something that is super, super important. Paying yourself first. When you get your salary, take out some money from that salary and pay yourself first. So what does paying yourself first mean? It means a lot of things, really, from the amount of money that you're going to save to the amount of money that you're going to invest. But the important thing is, at the end of the day, pay yourself first. So let's say you earn £2,000 a month. By general rule of thumb, you should be, aiming to save about 20% of that and aiming to invest about 10% of that. So 30% should be going towards your savings and investments. 30% of £2,000 would be £600. So you know that the rest of your life should fit into £1,400. But what happens is many times we don't actually do that, and we end up spreading all our life to the £2,000, and that then creates a situation where we are having to always play catch up because we're not saving, we're not investing, and if there's an emergency for any reason, then you start to struggle. So if an emergency comes up, let's say you need to travel to Nigeria for any random reason, can you afford that random expense? You get laid off your job. Can you afford that random situation that nobody planned for? Because obviously while you were setting out your goals for the year, you didn't intend to get laid off. But life happens, situations happen that you didn't plan for. So can you afford those situations that have now happened? That is why it's always important to pay yourself first. And that is a mistake that a lot of black migrants make. We don't pay ourselves first. And it puts us in a sticky situation because at the end of the day, we are now in this position where we are unable to afford emergencies that occur. And that's why on this channel, I really do preach about having an emergency fund, like a safety net, if you will, so that if something goes wrong, something unexpected happens, you can at least cover yourself for the time being and you don't run into any problems. That is a major problem that black migrants have. And to piggyback off of that is also the fact that we don't think too far into the future. I know that many people think and say, I'm going to go back home after X amount of years. Why do I need to have a pension? But these are the singular differences between people who are more successful in their retirement than people who are not. Because if you try to imagine yourself at 65 years old, do you want to be actively looking for money? Do you want to be actively trying to find money? And that's why a pension is important. The amount of money that comes out of your pension is quite small. You get a tax relief as well. And your employer by law is supposed to put something into that pension as well. So for example, if you work with the NHS, you've put out maybe 9% of your income into your pension, and that is pre-tax, by the way. Your employer puts an amount of money as well. So for a random example, your employer puts maybe 3%. So now you've got 12% of your income in a pension pot. And if you don't put anything, you don't have that 3% that your employer would have put. So you're basically losing money. Free money is going down the drain. You're not getting it because you're not harnessing that pension. And, towards the time when it's time for retirement, when it's time to collect that money, you can also get a tax-free portion of your pension that you can withdraw, which I believe is about 25%. You can withdraw that tax-free. So, at the end of the day, why are we not taking advantage of this pension? Why are we putting ourselves at a disadvantage? Why are we not, letting the system work for us? That is definitely another big contributing factor for why black migrants happen to be among the, poorest in the UK. Also, not having a passive source of income strategy. And this brings me to the sponsors of today's video, which are Mekify Inc. Canada. These are a Nigerian couple who have been through this whole migration process, and they've been able to channel and leverage passive income through affiliate marketing. They have been through the United Kingdom, and then they moved to Canada. They're currently living in Canada, and they've built a business structure with affiliate marketing such that at the end of the day, they are able to live freely, live enjoy life and not put themselves under so much pressure because they've been able to harness that affiliate marketing power. Now, because they want to help other Black migrants who are struggling, they decided to create a webinar where they are able to teach you the details of affiliate marketing, the details of how to make money in your sleep, how to make money passively, passive income strategies through affiliate marketing. And honestly, I am super impressed with this, and that is why I decided to partner with them on this particular video. I'm going to leave the links to the webinar down in the description box. The webinar is absolutely free of charge. You don't have to pay any money to sign up to this webinar. Just watch the webinar when they host it, listen to what they have to say, and if you are interested, then you can pay a one-time, sign up fee to get access to training resources and materials that you can use to learn more about the business and how to become a successful affiliate marketer. Again, the details to Makify Inc. Canada would be down in the description box. You can read about them. You can add them up on WhatsApp. You can sign up to their webinar and ask them every single questions that you have. But the most important thing is in 2025, we want to, change the narrative. We want to change the situation of things, and we want to be able to leverage passive income. And that is why, through the power of affiliate marketing, Makify Inc. Canada will help you, take your income streams to the next level. Again, all the links would be down in the description box if you want to sign up. If you want to watch the webinar, whatever the case may be, contact Makify in Canada. Any questions, any clarifications, they will be happy to answer you. Their WhatsApp number is going to be down in the description box of this video as well. Thank you so much, Makify in Canada, for sponsoring this section of this video. Now, moving on, we're going to talk about the fact that Black migrants actually don't have any financial strategy. Most people are just spending money. They don't actually know how much comes in, and they don't actually know how much goes out. So if you ask the average person, how much do you think you spend in a month, many times they don't actually know because they haven't actually put pen to paper to calculate these things. And if you don't have a financial strategy, you are setting yourself up for failure and you're doing yourself a huge disservice. That's why I've made a lot of videos, a series of videos on this channel, just talking about how to set yourself up financially for financial success and for financial freedom. Because at the end of the day, it is really important to have a strategy. Take pen to paper and actually make a note of how much money you get every single month, whether that be your salary, picking up extra shifts, gifts, whatever the case may be. How much money do you actually get every month? And how much money do you actually spend every month? Make a note of all these things and you'll be surprised. Most people actually underestimate the amount of money that they make monthly because they don't actually record it. When you have recorded it, you can make a financial plan and strategy for your life, and you can be able to, set yourself apart and set yourself up for financial success such that you do not fall into that statistics of being among the poorest migrants in the UK. Last but not the least is no building of wealth in the United Kingdom. Many people think to themselves, oh, I'm going to leave and go back home when I'm 60. So what's the point? I'm not going to build any wealth. But at the end of the day, what if you don't go back home? What if plans change? 60 years is so far away from where you are right now. What if plans change? You don't want to be in that situation where all your investment is back home and you don't have anything here, because even if you decided to go back home, if you have something here, you can sell whatever you have, and that is an asset to make your life back home even easier. Invest in the stock market. Learn about the way money works. This is something that nobody is going to teach you in school, and the onus is on you to do your research to actually learn about these things. If you don't learn about it, you're not going to know. So as an adult, you have to be intentional about learning about money so that you set yourself apart from the average person, and you give yourself higher chances of actually succeeding and doing well. So learn about money, invest in the stock market, have a high yield savings account, have passive income streams, be intentional, have a financial roadmap. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you would like to learn more about this topic, I'm going to leave the video where I spoke about this topic with my husband on the screen. We had a conversation style video where we went into depth the exact reasons why Black migrants happen to be among the poorest in the UK. Now, if you'd like to watch that, it's going to be on the screen. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.